こんにちは, Tiffany Rikaです. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm coming to you guys with a blank canvas on my face because I'm going to be doing my first ever beauty review video, my first impressions on this makeup product, because I have been seeing it all over Instagram. It came out a while ago, but recently I feel like my Instagram feed has just been filled with this palette, so I kind of caved in and bought it. I was like at Sephora, I saw it, it called my name, and I decided to pick it up. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. So this is what the palette looks like. You guys have probably all seen it before on Instagram or on YouTube even. I'm checking on my phone right now, but the Modern Renaissance palette at the Sephora website is $42 US. And it says it is an essential eyeshadow collection with 14 shades in neutral and berry tones. Now I'm really excited to try this out. I'm definitely a huge fan of neutrals as well as like a mauve-y pink color. So let's go ahead, zoom in, and start this makeup look. Ooh, now that we're up close and personal, I'm gonna clip back the things. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is a little bit more of a close-up. I will be doing swatches of all of the eyeshadows at the end of this video. I will leave a timestamp over here so you guys can skip to it if you want to see the up close and personal. I'm taking a little bit of tape right now and just taping off my face a little bit so it gives that more of a sharper edge, because I think I'm gonna go for a little bit more of a bolder look than I'm used to. I'm gonna look a little silly for a while, but that's like every day in my life. So it comes with a dual-sided brush just like the Naked palette, so I'm gonna try to play around with this brush more than any of my other brushes so you kind of just get the feel of what the palette really does come with. So I'm gonna first take this nice, almost like a terracotta orange color into my crease and just blend that out so we have like a transition color. The brush, I feel like, seems a little, like the bristles are kind of hard. It's a medium density brush, I would say, but this color I love. It's also very pigmented, I find, and also it's not too chalky. I heard on some of the reviews online that some of the matte colors are very chalky and has a lot of fallout, but I think this color is totally fine. It looks perfect. And now I'm going to use a little bit of a smaller crease brush, and I'm going to take this color Realgar? I don't even know how that's pronounced, but it's a more of a reddish orange color, and I'm just going to take that a little bit underneath that burnt orange color that we put in. I think these two colors look absolutely gorgeous together, almost like a little sunset on your eyes. Just gonna keep that really focused on the outer V and bring in whatever's left on the brush. I really like the color payoff of this. I find that, like, usually I tend to stick towards more of like a shimmery, less I don't really want like a huge pigment to it, especially for my daily wear look. I usually like to stick to like one matte crease color and then like a shimmer all over the lids, just for an everyday look. But I think this would be like a perfect going out look, or if you're more of a Instagram glow up every single day type of person, it would totally be like a thing. Look at that, that's so pretty. I feel like the colors in this palette just look so good together that even if you're like a really bad, like you can't do makeup for a crop, that like whatever color you pick kind of goes all together, so that would be great. For all over the lid, I'm going to be taking this color called Vermeer. I'm going to apply this with an Urban Decay brush and just apply that kind of more towards the center entire part of the lid here and just kind of avoiding the crease. I find that like you definitely need this kind of color in your makeup kit. It's definitely something that you could use like on your inner tear duct, but you can also use as like a brow bone highlight all over your lid. It looks beautiful, so I'm gonna apply that. And yeah, it's definitely not a shimmer shadow. I would say it's more like a velvety satin finish to it. And since I did lose some of the burnt orange color, this matte lighter brown terracotta color. I'm gonna go ahead and use the same fluffy blending brush again, and just kind of going back over the color. And now to deepen up the outer V a little bit, I'm kind of debating between Venetian Red and the Red Ochre, but I'm gonna probably go with the Venetian Red just because it is the one color in this palette that has been most talked about, I find. So I'm gonna take a really dense crease brush and I'm just going to apply that to my outer V. That is gorgeous. Oh, it's so pretty. And I find that sometimes using like a red or a pink is very hard on the eye because it can make you look like you got stabbed or punched in the eye. But this, I think, is a very good way to pull off a pink or a red. Super pretty. Oh, I'm in love with this shade. Now I understand the hype. So that's what that looks like so far. Gorgeous, gorgeous color payoff. I love it. And there's a little bit of fallout, but luckily I put some tape down, so it's really not that big of a deal that I could just like peel it off and then if I wanted to go in with some concealer. But overall, I think the color payoff is beautiful. I feel like I created a beautiful sunset look to my eyes, so I love that. Then I'm just gonna take a regular brush and this color Tempera. I was gonna say tempura, like the Japanese food, but it's not. It's very, very almost like my skin tone because I have such a pale skin complexion, but I think this is a really nice like all over the eyelid kind of shade, very neutral matte color. So I'm just gonna apply that underneath my brow bone to bring the little bit of color up there. Oof. Glow up game strong. Beautiful. I find that this one seems a little bit chalky. The tempera color, a little bit chalky. I'm gonna remove the tape. Oof. Yeah, you could see a line of the eyeshadow fallout there, but it's not something that big of a deal. I can clean that up when I put foundation on. For underneath on my lower lash line, I'm gonna take that red ochre color just because it's more of a toned down version of the Venetian Red. It's a darker, more red matte shade. So I'm gonna take that with the brush that it comes with and drag the outer dark shade right into the mid part, but then stopping there so it doesn't close out my eyes. So I think that's gonna be it for the eyeshadow. I'm gonna go ahead and finish out my makeup with my eyeliner and my mascara, and I will come back. Okay, so this is the swatches for the first row, starting with Tempera, which I'm too pale, so it matches my skin tone. It's a little bit chalkier. The Golden Ochre, super pretty yellow toned matte brown. This one's one of my favorites. It's Vermeer. It's almost like a light champagne color, very cool toned, with a little bit of pink reflexes in it. Over here is Buon Fresco, a very beautiful, almost matches the outside of the packaging. It's like a mauve-y gray toned purple here. Right next to it is Antique Bronze, which has a little bit of a shimmer to it. It's almost like a satin finish, and it's a red toned copper color. Next to it we have Love Letter, which I find is the most vibrant pink color that is in the palette. It is matte based. It doesn't have any shimmer to it whatsoever. It's a little bit chalky. You can see here that it did pick up a little bit of chalk dust on the side over here. Chalk dust, I didn't even know what that means, but that is Love Letter. And then right next to it is the very, very pigmented Cypress Umber. I think I did one swipe of this with my finger and you can already tell how opaque the color is and how dark that is. Okay, so this is the swatches of the second row of eyeshadows. And as you can see, the bottom tier seems to be a lot more of a warm based color eyeshadow. Over here is raw sienna. Super easy. I feel like you could use this as even an all over eyelid color as well as a bronzer even, since it doesn't have too much of a red base to it. The burnt orange is definitely a lot more orange. It's pretty similar as you can see, but this one is definitely a more of an orange base. Next to it we have Primavera here, super pretty. It is a gold version of the Vermeer. I feel like the texture of the eyeshadow is pretty similar to Vermeer, which was like the light pink champagne one from the first tier, but super, super pretty. I find that they do a really good job with their shimmer slash satin finishes. Next to it we have red ochre. Super pretty. I don't find it as, you know, as opaque as, you know, this one over here. Some of their matte shades don't seem to be as pigmented as others. Next to it we have Venetian Red, which is the really hyped about color in this palette. It is definitely a beautiful, gorgeous, almost like a magenta pink color with little bits of purple undertone to it, so I really do like that. It does have a little bit of a light purple reflex to it. It's almost like a lilac color. If you see, if I move my wrist like this, you can see the little bit of a reflection. Next to it is warm taupe. Super pretty. I wouldn't call that a taupe. I feel like that's more of like a light, soft gray brown, but I don't find any purple in it. I feel like it's a very neutral color. And then next to it we have Real Gar, which is a very orange based, very opaque, and very matte color. So my thoughts on this palette, I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and they did a really good job at pulling off the reds and the pinks. As I kept on like repeating, reds and pinks are so hard to pull off sometimes, that especially in like the darker red and pink tones. I think sometimes your eyes can look bruised and everything like that, but I think this is an absolutely gorgeous product. There definitely was a few eyeshadows that I found had a lot more fallout, and with removing the tape, I definitely saw like a huge line on my face where the fallout had gotten past the tape. So I think maybe using even a different brush to apply it could eliminate that fallout, but overall I think the color payoff, the pigmentation is great, and I like the fact that there is like a few shades that are more of a shimmery satin finish. There's definitely like the Antique Bronze is more of a subtle shimmer, as well as the Venetian Red has a little bit of sparkle in it as well, and then there's a few matte shades as well. So I really do like it. The texture of the eyeshadows are very, very soft and kind of almost like velvet finish to it, so I really do like that. About the packaging, I'm not a huge fan other than the color. The color is beautiful. I think they did a good job, but the velvet, I find that any of my palettes that does have the velvet on the outside tends to get really, really dirty and disgusting looking, like my Naked One palette. I think overall this is a great palette to put into your collection. It is only $42. I know the Naked palettes go for about $50. I don't know if they've upped the price since I last bought one a while ago, but Naked palettes come with 12 eyeshadows, I believe, and it's around $50. This one comes with 14 for $42, as I said, on Sephora. But this is definitely something that I would go ahead and pick up and definitely go ahead and start creating more looks with. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. I mean, if you got them extra money to go get it, I would go get you one. Yeah, that is it for my first ever first impressions video. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys have some products that you have in mind that you'd want me to review and try out, go ahead and let me know in the comment box below. And if you haven't already joined the family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me, and I upload every single week. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mata ne! Mwah!